crossing the finish line. With many people's events happening at the end of the month, it's really the time to think about taking those last steps towards reaching the fundraising goal that you've set for your team and using online fundraising to help do that. We really want to thank you for joining our second Team Captain Online Fundraising Power Talk. We appreciate so much the work that you're doing with your March for Babies team, and we hope this call will give you a few ideas of things to try that can be fun, maybe a little different than what you've done in the past. My name is Lisa Fair. I'm the Director of Online Fundraising at the March of Dimes. Joining me from the March of Dimes are Sharon Cole and Crystal Lugo, also from the Online Fundraising Department, and Christina Calista from One Main Financial Headquarters in Baltimore, Maryland. Christina is going to share some of the ways they promote March for Babies and online fundraising at One Main, particularly now that they are in their very active campaign phase. Just as a little housekeeping note, we have the conference on mute so that you can all listen and we won't be having any background noise that will interfere. We will unmute the conference line so that people can ask questions at a couple of points throughout our call. We're also recording this call and we will post it online. We put these on YouTube and then we post links from Facebook and Twitter. So welcome everyone. Just a little bit more about the One Main team that Chrissy is part of. They are the number one team in the Central Maryland Division from 2012, and they're continually in the top 5 from year to year. Last year, their team raised $59,000, and $58,000 of it was raised by their team members. $33,000 collected online from credit card or PayPal, which is just fantastic success for online fundraising. One of the other things that's so great about this team is that of the 500 people approximately who are at that location, 300 of them participated last year. So from here on, Sharon and Chrissy will talk a little bit about the things that the team does to help have such great success and what they're doing right now so that they can be sure that they meet their goal for this year.
Great. Thanks, Lisa, and welcome everybody to the call as well. We're really excited to have Chrissy with us today. Chrissy, as you know, we talked with Heather, who's your co-chair in February when we had another one of these calls, and she did a lot of great discussion around the work that you do as you prepare for the campaign, which was quite amazing, some of the things that you do just to kind of get ready to kick off and get going. But now here we are in the backstretch, and so one of the things we want to talk about today is just how are things going? We're close to the end here. How's it going?
It's going really good. We're very happy with our results as of right now. Our goal is $58,500, and we have a stretch goal every year, and that is $60,000 this year, with 275 registered walkers. We just kicked off our campaign last week, and after the first week of the campaign, we have raised almost $26,000, which is about 44% of our goal, and we have 261 registered walkers. So we're very happy about that. We only need 14 more walkers to hit our walker part of the goal.
My gosh, that's amazing. That's amazing. And I find it interesting because when we talked in February, all the preparation that you've done to get into it, and now here it is. You did an official kickoff last week, and the progress that you've made in that period of time is just incredible, and I give you great accolades for that. So we've got 3 weeks left. I know that sounds intimidating, but how are you keeping people interested and motivated in the whole thing?
Right. It's basically communication. We have what we call a healthy competition for healthy babies among our executive team in their respective departments, and that really motivates our competitive employees to want to win those bragging rights. We send out a weekly email to all of our champions letting them know where their executive is in regards to the challenge, and we also update them on where we are towards reaching our overall company goals. We use a bulletin board in the cafe to display our results as well, just in case someone doesn't see that email, so they have that visual display that they can look at when they're going to get lunch or eating breakfast. And we also send out weekly email communications to all of our Baltimore-based employees, letting them know of upcoming events, the times and where they'll be, so that we can encourage them to come and participate in those events and have fun as well.
Just really, really good, really good. I have found, too, just interesting, that the whole role of this executive champion does play a really significant difference in keeping the campaign going. So I'm glad that you utilize that function. We have found that it really works across the country as well. I did notice that when you talk about your goal, it's two things. It's like the number of team members, and I'm really impressed with the number of people who are actual participants, and the dollars as well. So it seems like you talk number of people walking and also dollar amount.
Yes. I think for the size of our business, we have some lofty goals, so it's important to have several measurements on how it can be achieved. The average online walker raises about $200, so if we reach our 275 walker goal, that's $55,000 towards our monetary goal. The wraparound events and the executive match incentives are instrumental in helping us hopefully reach our stretch goal of $60,000 this year. And just knowing this and breaking it down for employees helps keep the goal realistic and within reach.
Sounds like you work for a financial institution. It's all about the numbers. That's great, though, and I do think, and I'm glad that y'all have come across the key to showing people how to achieve it, and that the average walker, that is indeed true, with the online walker raising $200 on average. And when you start sharing those numbers with people, I think that's when they actually see that it is achievable, so I like that you're doing that. Mm-hmm. So give us a heads up of what other things are happening now with just these 3 weeks left.
Well, in addition to keeping everyone informed with where we are towards our goals, we do like to have a lot of fun. Each day we have one or more events scheduled where employees can take a little break from work and help support the cause. We have things like basket sweepstakes where we ask each department to donate a themed basket that we raffle off. And our departments, they really go out of their way on their themed baskets. This year, just to kind of give you an example, one department is putting together a his and her basket that has items such as a Coach purse, wine glasses, a spa day, Apple TV, spirits, and some sports memorabilia. We also have breakfast events, bake sales, and afternoon smoothies. So our employees, they really get engaged and enthusiastic about the events we host.
Ooh, I like the Apple TV. So
yeah.
Maybe we need to get in on that. It sounds like you really keep people excited about the March for Babies, and a lot of fun. And I know that all the things that are fun really keep people engaged. But when we talked recently, you also do some things that help people understand just why the March for Babies is so important. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, we really try to keep the focus on why we support the mission and how we've all been impacted in some way or another. So we ask our employees that have been personally impacted by the mission, who feel comfortable with sharing their story, to get on the agendas of various department team meetings. Not everyone is able to attend our kickoff to hear these amazing stories of hope and inspiration. So this is just another way to motivate employees to help support such a great cause.
That's really perfect. And I have seen, too, across the country where you can keep the fun and the competition going, but when you marry it with the mission, it really does seem to make a significant impact on people, and you see kind of a jump in people just rallying to the cause. So that's really exciting that you do that. I know that there's a large walk event in Baltimore, but don't you guys do something a little bit different in terms of walking?
We do. We have our own mini walk at work where employees can meet in the park across from our building, and we just take a stroll down to the Inner Harbor and back. It's another way for us to increase participation, especially for those who aren't able to make it to the March for Babies event in Baltimore. Our employees get to wear their T-shirts and We have mini stations set up similar to the March for Babies walk with water and granola bars. So they have a lot of fun with doing that, and other local businesses get to see us all out in our T-shirts, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the Inner Harbor in there. That really is nice. So I can just envision it now. How really totally cool that would be.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe I should come. So I think the Apple TV is really what's getting me. So I think that'll be cool. So here we are, just a few weeks left. I know team captains get a little excited as we start getting to the finish line here. Is there any one other thing that you find to be the most important thing right now with just a few weeks left?
Yes, it's really just keeping the momentum going. Constant updates, reminders about events, and even sharing some mission statistics to help focus on why we're doing what we're doing. So we like to just share that with the champions, and then they cascade that down to their departments with the updates of where we are, and those statistics help bring us back as to why it's so important to do what we're doing.
Wonderful. That's just truly wonderful. I wish you and Heather and just clone you and just work you around the country, because all the things that you're doing just seem to just be the entire pieces that come together to make this event so amazing, and what you're doing for your team. So thank you so much for just your incredible work, and all of us wish you just some great luck as you do approach the finish line. We know I think you'll meet your stretch goal easily, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Lisa.
Oh, thank you, Sharon and Chrissy. Those are some really good ideas and things that you're doing that make great success. For everyone who's on the call, just a reminder that no matter what size company you work for or how many people are on your team, you can still use some or all of these practices with your team in some way. And I know our focus of this call is online fundraising, which on its own just helps get you to your goal. But really the things that OneMain is doing, it all leads to online fundraising. Without the communication, the constant updates for where they with their goal, and really keeping people interested in March for Babies, the online fundraising just really wouldn't happen. It's those activities that they do that help get the people engaged so that they do go online. And we have talked in the past and a few ways. Some of the things that they do to reward people for, or measurement for incentives, and some of the raffles that they do. It's based on what the people raise online through the online fundraising, and that's how Chrissy knows what their progress is so far. She's looking at how much money has been raised online by their walkers for the most part, because that's what we have to measure. So just keep in mind that all of this supports the online fundraising by your team members. Tons of fun campaign activities just to keep everybody on board. The mission connection. If you're with a family team, you very possibly have that's the whole basis for you forming a team, and you've shared that. A lot of times, I think companies may forget to include that mission component. So be sure to see about people who are in your company who have been affected and are comfortable sharing their experiences, so that everybody can understand. And at OneMain Financial, and probably at many, many, many other companies, that sense of competition between departments and business lines, they're really capitalizing on. So you can, as a team captain, just continue to, in whatever size team you've got, you can foster that sense of competition if it's something that people will respond to. And at for company teams, getting those executives involved, they're also helping to boost the communication excitement. So thank you again. I think now we will open up our conference line, and if anybody has
Presentation mode is now disabled.
any questions for Chrissy or anybody else on the call, please go ahead. Okay. Maybe later we'll give people an opportunity again to ask any questions. So, Chrissy, we can't thank you enough for sharing what your team does to be successful, and thank you to everybody else for dialing in. Now, Crystal is going to share 5 fantastic tips with you that will help you get your team to be reaching their goal through online fundraising.
Thanks, Lisa. Hi, everybody. So here are some 5 tips that you can use to help you cross that finish line for March for Babies. The first tip is to, since you guys are nearing in on that finish, the finish line, and you're at the final stages of your fundraising, change up your email subject line so that it reflects your current stage of fundraising. So you shouldn't say, I'm now fundraising. You should be saying, I have X number of days left to my walk. Please support me. So change up your line to be more consistent with where you are in the fundraising stage. Tip number 2, if you haven't done so already, personalize your team page with a photo and a story of why your team is walking, because it really, really makes that much of a difference in your fundraising. Tip number 3, along with tip number 2, use some of the mission statistics in relating to your donations. So you can maybe explain how many dollars are used in 1 week worth of a NICU stay or a month worth of a NICU stay. Those kinds of statistics can help with your fundraising if people can see what it really goes toward. Tip number 4 would be using your Be Your Best numbers in the 75th anniversary. You guys are very close to being your absolute best, so what will it take to help your friends make sure that you be your best? Just make sure you put your numbers out there.
Presentation mode.
Put your numbers out there. Tell your friends and family how close you are to being done with your goal, and that'll help you be your best and also plug in the 75th anniversary as well. Tip number 5, if your team members have limited access to the internet at work, don't let that stand in your way. We have an app for that. We also have the marchforbabies.org site, smartphone friendly. So registration and fundraising can easily be done on the phone. And as I'd mentioned before with the apps, we have the iPhone and the Android apps will also make the fundraising that much more easier for you. I'm going to pass it along to Lisa now. Lisa?
I had myself on mute. Sorry. Thank you, Crystal. And thanks, everybody. So, again, I think we'll open up the conference line, see if anybody has any questions. We do have still a few minutes on our scheduled time, so we can open that up.
Presentation mode is now disabled.
And anything that any of you out there have as far as questions, concerns, ideas, challenges you're facing that maybe we can help you with?
If there's a part of the company that's having a struggle in meeting its goal, Chrissy, how do you help them out or advise them to improve their success?
Basically, it's really just communication again. We just share where they are with their specific goal and then break it down into smaller pieces. So if one department's goal is 5,000 and they're at 2,500 and they have X amount of walkers, then we would divide that up and say, okay, if each one of our registered walkers raised just this much more, we'll be able to reach that $5,000 goal. So really just breaking it down and putting it into smaller attainable numbers.
Great.
Great, thank you.
This is Chrissy. I have a question for Crystal. You mentioned using some of the mission stats in relation to donating, and I think that's really important. But where can some of our champions get additional statistics?
Your chapter, your local chapter would be a very great resource for that. And they could also put you in touch with the local ambassador family so that you can get some of their statistics and their story. But yeah, your local chapter would be the best to get that information.
Great, thank you.
Okay, well, I think if we don't have any more questions, I think that we can adjourn for today. I do want to thank everybody for joining in. One of the things I don't want to forget is if you do have any questions that you think of after the fact, or you or anybody on your team has any questions about online fundraising, you can be sure to contact our online fundraising help desk. Just click the Contact Us link at the bottom of any page on our website to email us. It also gives you the phone number where you can call them, and they'll be able to help you out with any issues or questions that anybody has regarding signing up or donating. So thank you again. Thank you, Sharon, Scott, Chrissy, Crystal. It's been very helpful.